Welcome to Beef Sticks Podcast. And Pasty, I am laying down an edict for Beef Sticks Podcast. As of now, Fat Mac and Pasty White can no longer do Spreaker. We can no longer do iTunes. We can no longer do Google Play Music. We can't do any of that shit because it's not giving us money.
Well, then what are we supposed to do, brother?
Ask Vince McMahon, because he seems to know.
Oh, yeah. Vince McMahon issued an edict this week that talent can no longer engage with outside third parties, which would presumably include platforms like Cameo and Twitch. WWE held a call with talent last Sunday regarding the reinvention of the product, which is funny, isn't it?
That's pretty...
They're going to reinvent the brand. Oh, yeah.
They've done that a time or two before.
During the call, it was said that WWE owns the real names of talent, not just their character names.
It's ballsy.
McMahon followed up by sending a letter to each on-air talent, and violations will result in fines, suspension, or termination at WWE's discretion. Save you would say AEW confirmed, folks. Oh, he should be the first one to get the fuck out of there with this.
Agreed, but that would kill the New Day.
Well, Big E's on his solo run anyway, so whatever. Dave Meltzer reported that due to the immediate backlash, the company has relaxed some of the vague rules regarding social media marketing and put forth in the letter. It is now being said that talent will be able to maintain both YouTube and Twitch accounts. However, they would have to do so using their real names as opposed to their WWE ring names. It was stated that they would have to inform the company of YouTube and Twitch accounts using their real names. WWE is comparing their need to protect intellectual property similar to Disney and Warner Brothers. It is the control and exploitation of these characters that allows WWE to drive revenue. Exploitation.
Yeah, I was going to say double line emphasis on the exploitation.
Like, that should automatically make her wrong, I think. Which in turn enables the company to compensate performers at the highest level in the sports entertainment industry.
Oh, I see. So if they can take the performers' money, then they can pay the performers a percentage of it.
Yes.
That's what it... Oh, so they're just doing it for the performers. That's what it is.
That's why they tried to put... That's why they tried to put up, down, down on the network.
Now I get it. It's
hey,
all
Xavier, I see you got a really cool YouTube channel over there. It's doing real well. You want to put it on the network and give us all that money? I promise we'll give you 5%.
Yeah. Doesn't WWE realize there's a difference between wrestlers and actors' characters?
Yeah, no, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, Disney does the same thing with Marvel superheroes, don't get me wrong. You can't be caught out in public doing anything that would be, whatever, deemed negative in the public eye because you are their property, blah, blah, blah. But I'm pretty sure Disney Marvel superheroes are paid far better than WWE talent, especially the ones who are using YouTube and Twitch to bring in additional income because they're not Roman Reigns. But the difference here is Disney and Warner Brothers don't try to own their actors' real names, and those actors are allowed to make appearances such as Cameo or even late-night talk shows and keep their compensation, not giving any of it to the film studios. There is obviously still some confusion among talent, as they were told by people in the company that they could not market themselves with the usage of their real names. Meltzer reports WWE didn't clear up exactly what won't be allowed, though the belief was that Cameo wouldn't be allowed. And I guess I can understand that.
What the fuck Cameo is? I don't know what the fuck Cameo is.
Well, I mean, Cameo is the whole reason. Well, it's a little. We're going to talk about it later, but it's the whole reason Sinbad is in the Dark Order. They paid him money, and he cameoed for AEW.
Yeah, but what the fuck is Cameo?
We could pay the Undertaker, $1,000, and he would send a video saying da 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 Beef Sticks Podcast da 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 da.
So it's like Snapchat but for celebrities.
It's celebrities. You pay celebrities to get a shout out, basically.
Okay. So literal cameos.
Yeah,
Never heard of it in my life, honestly.
It's kind of new. I think I've heard of it for a couple years now, but it's definitely starting to kick off more in the wrestling world. And I guess with WWE, I can kind of see it because, like, you don't want AEW getting a hold of AJ Styles to do a cameo, right?
Right. But if you're just doing it for fans, that's a gray area.
I think it's so funny because it's pretty apparent that Lana's the reason this happened. She did a Twitch ad for Bang Energy, and it was like, Bang gives me the energy I need to dance. And then she's dancing for the whole rest of the video with Bang Energy in her hand. And it's like, well, WWE is the one who made you dance. So now they're going to get pissy because you danced. Like,
that's another thing I recently just seen this week was Bang Energy.
Oh,
which
wow.
Sounds really awful.
It's not good. I have tried it. It's not good. It's not.
It seems like it's
They have a lot of really insanely interesting flavors that most companies don't delve into. But
yeah, there's weird things that these new kids are doing that just don't have a reason to exist. TikTok being at the top of the list.
Yeah, yep. You'll never catch us on there. Or is that part of the edict? Is that where we can only podcast from now? Is TikTok?
I think we can do TikTok.
Okay.
We're allowed to do TikTok.
We have to use our real names though.
Bang Energy's been around since 1993. What the fuck?
Holy shit! Well, I think it probably started out as like a dollar store brand. Like how Champion started out when we were kids. Champion was like the broke poor kids stuff. And now it's like a designer brand.
It's still a dollar store brand. It just costs $10 a can. I know, actually, slightly off topic, and I'll just make it quick. My son, when we were going school shopping, happened to mention how it's weird that the same exact Champion clothes are at Walmart for $5 that he finds in the name brand stores for like $50.
Yeah.
And he still won't let us buy the Walmart ones. He's admitted it's the exact same one.
While we're talking about this, Fat Mac, I would like to call an audible. And you want to talk to us about Andrew Yang's interview? Because it's very much tied in with this. And the reason why I have a lot of beef with what's going on with this edict in WWE.
Well, is there any way we could wait till it's on the news? Or
What?
Is there any way we could wait till it's on the news?
We could wait till we get there, yeah, but it really ties into it. I want to talk about why I have problems with this, but...
Well, why don't we bring it up then? Because we still got a whole lot to talk about this edict.
Oh, yeah.
This is just the beginning.
It's pretty damn throughout. It's real interesting.
Well, here, I'll bust out the Andrew Yang stuff if you want just that one.
Yeah, just that one, and then we can...
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll bust it out. So basically, Andrew Yang, who's a former Democratic presidential candidate, he called out WWE's misclassification of professional wrestlers as independent contractors, saying kind of what everybody's said since the 80s. It's ridiculous and should be looked into by government authorities, which it has been multiple times, but Vince has deep pockets and a lot of friends in politics. While Yang was speaking to CNN, and Yang is an admitted wrestling fan, grew up a big fan, and he knows pro wrestling quite well. He was asked about his opposition to WWE's edict to ban talent from engaging with third-party platforms such as Cameo and Twitch. He said, the post you're talking about was my categorization, the misclassification of professional wrestlers as independent contractors, which is completely ridiculous, given that the WWE has controlled their name and likeness for years and controls their activities in many ways. He also added Vince McMahon should hope that his old friend Donald Trump is reelected as U.S. president since, quote, changes in the air and changes are long overdue where Vince's corrupt labor practices are concerned, end quote. He later added, they are putting their lives and health on the line all the time. They made Vince a billionaire, and the fact that he's being so heavy-handed about them making a buck on the side on Cameo just struck me as absurd, ridiculous, and wrong. It's past time someone calls Vince out for this, and if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris win, I may be in a position to do something about this. WWE is a public company, and McMahon is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but spends it all on dumb stuff. The company is worth $3.3 billion. If your company is worth $3.3 billion and treat them the way they treat their workers, it's just shameful. You could have made an argument in the past upon cost, but now you can't. It's just plain fucking greed at this point.
Yeah, he sat down with Chris Van Vliet this week, too, and he really gave AEW a big shout-out for wrestling talent and how more wrestlers are treated properly, and many of them have office jobs in addition, so they are not just independent contractors where they actually have, benefits and stuff through the company.
Right.
I'm sure that's not everybody, and I'm sure some of the newer people coming in don't get that. But I don't know. WWE needs to make some changes, especially if they want to control their superstars this way. We've given the shout out to John Oliver before, but he's got a wonderful video you can find on YouTube about WWE superstars being independent contractors and how it's just fucking wrong.
Yeah.
It's very upsetting, and now he's trying to control their personal lives, essentially. It's like, we made the joke years ago at the beginning of this podcast how Vince is breeding super wrestlers for the future. How long till he's telling people who they can and can't be with? I'm sure he does here and there, but...
Well, he does kind of in a way, When he doesn't want people together, he'll try to put them on different schedules, and, You've heard, they said that both Seth and Becky were given the okay to take time off for the baby, but then you hear certain people backstage, and I've never heard Vince or anyone major up, but I've heard certain people kind of chastised Becky for doing that while she's a huge superstar. Shit happens.
Yeah. I mean, Ronda Rousey walked out because she wanted to make a baby. At least Becky waited until that had been done.
Right.
Even still, like, at the detriment of potentially her child and herself. But
exactly.
Whatever. No, things need to change. Things need to change everywhere, though. We're going to have a lot of beef on this episode of B6 Podcast, and it's going to be flying in all directions, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we're going to be throwing the cow, man.
No one's leaving unscathed, my friend.
No scathing. And I'll tell you what, there was another event that happened where nobody left unscathed, but that happened quite a long time ago, Pasty. And we're going to break into that on This Week in Pro Wrestling History.
Yeah, brother.
Because, Pasty, 23 years ago today, WrestleFest 50, or WrestleFest, excuse me, not 50. Who knows?
WrestleFest 50, Years of Funk.
WrestleFest 50 Years of Funk was presented from the Funk family's hometown of Amarillo, Texas, back in 1997. The event celebrated a half-century of wrestling for the Funk family and was one of those rare special nights in professional wrestling where promotions put their differences aside and came together to celebrate one legacy that left an impact in the business. Yes, folks, WWF, WCW, ECW, FMW, IWA, and more all participated in 50 Years of Funk, which featured Terry Funk in his retirement match. Of course, it wasn't his first, and we know it wouldn't be his last. That was huge, especially when you consider 1997 was the peak of the Monday Night Wars. So the fact that all of these promotions were willing to give talent and backstage people for this just shows you how much all of the Funks are respected, from Dory Sr., Dory Jr., Terry, Flash Funk. Oh, never mind, he's not a real Funk. But yeah, it just really shows you how much they were definitely respected. The matches that night were kind of a who's who, as we mentioned. You got so many different companies in here. We had Wing Kanamura versus Amish Roadkill, ECW TV champion Taz versus Chris Candido, Shark Suyachi versus Kuga, Balls Mahoney versus Bubba Ray Dudley, ECW champion Shane Douglas versus Tommy Dreamer.
Back when he was good.
Right. Dory Funk Jr. versus RVD Rob Van Dam. Mankind versus Sabu.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hayabusa